Hello ladies and gents, I am Tiffin, and welcome back to From the Depths, Ashes of the Empire Community Edition. In this episode, we are going to be loading in the entirety of Monklizard's designs, of which there are a fair number. We played with the Haluma last episode, and so we'll actually be producing these into a force of their very own. So let's start with the Heelcaster. So it's almost like a trilobite, which is quite cool. A hovering one, I'm presuming it's only just got the repair tentacles. But that's very important. So that can be utilised to keep everything else in this force repaired, which is really cool. I won't bother fighting with it because it will just get destroyed. So next up we have the E50Ms. RFAs, B, C, D, E and F. I presume all of these have slightly different armaments. Let's spawn them all in. So here it's the A, B, C, D, E and F. All I have slightly different weapons. Slightly different gauges. This has quite a small gauge. All I have heavy barrels on, which is quite cool. Let's just see how they all perform. Send them against the Tremor. There's one been destroyed straight away because it got hit by the bombardment of the Tremor. But we spawning them in so close to the Tremor was a bad idea. Ow. So the designs they could... Oh no, that one has got different guns. I was wondering if they're just different, slightly different colours, but they're probably just slightly different ammos as well. Ow. Please stop shooting me. I want to actually see the combat. They're going nicely. Again, nothing particularly special about any of these tank designs, but they are all pretty resilient. But even the ones there, it's been hit by multiple cram cannons, and it's still just going. Admittedly, the area has now been disabled, but it is still mostly there and acting as a distraction for the others. So I'm able to just act as just main battle tanks, which I do really need in this campaign, as it just keeps everything else alive and functional. And there goes a copperhead flying. Anyway, that's enough for this little battle. Let's see some of the others perform. That's all those, as I said, fairly standard sort of tank designs, but quite cool. So next we have the Jag E45 with what appears to be a rather beefy tram cannon and a couple of machine guns at the fore there. Definitely very strong, resilient looking design, though it does have wood at the side, which is a bit strange. Still, what's a little bit slower? I can't really remember. I think the Scrapworks was a slightly smaller design. A slower design, I mean. Bigger design. So, big cram cannon at the fore. I haven't got many cram cannon designs. Ow, and I just got shot. Doesn't falling down, you can still see things going on. There's it. There's the fight. There's the fight. Looks like the AI has been disabled. Yeah. Oh no, the cram cannon is still functional. And of course it's just a good, strong cram cannon. Though, being a tank destroyer type design, it doesn't look like it plays well as being a solo vehicle. Which makes sense, so That's all good. It will be in with a fleet of other tanks, so that will be okay. And the cram cannons, they're always good. Next we have the Panther 4, which is a hover tank with pack. Interesting. A very neat little design. Really like the aesthetic on this, though I am worried it might be a little bit weak. A lot of exposed components, particularly this pack. If that gets hit, it could end up tearing through the entire tank itself. Still, let's see how it performs. Let's send it against a Sand Raider. Got missiles, which nice little thing there, good against planes and such. Main cannon, decent strength, though it hasn't fired its pack cannons. It really needs to get those on target. Saying that, it's just main cannon just completely wrecked through the Raider. And there go the pack cannons. A very nice little tank. And it says you very erratic movement, so really nice hover tank. Look forward to seeing how this performs. And hopefully it won't gut too many of its friendlies with those pack. Still, some of those components are damaged, so it's going to be a strong but a very glass cannon design, I believe. Now we have the Serubia 3. This is the tank. It's a metal slug. That's where this is from. Oh, it's amazing aesthetic. Love it. It's also got a cram cannon again. Cram cannons will do well, but not so good against the Dustwind Gypsies because of their speed. But still, let's see how they performs. That's going to completely murder it because it's huge. I forgot that was a huge thing. Still, you can see how well the cram cannon just tears through the 4 there. So it's going to get completely mobbed by everything else. Yes, the good aesthetic there, and also with the cram, it is actually very effective when it hits. Like all cram designs, have a little bit of difficulty hitting its mark. Against Dustwind Gypsy, it's going to be a bit of a pain. Regardless, we have the SDKZ. Let's see how this is. So this looks like more like a command tank. Yeah, command resource vehicle. Not really much use in this campaign since I don't need resource containers. Let's see how well it fares though against a Sand Viper. It pulls its sides up and has a little gun at the top there. It really is more of a command vehicle. So I should enjoy this because I want to make a couple of changes to this because currently it has no role in the campaign. So due to it being a resource vehicle, and I have no need for those. But an easy fix to actually make it worthwhile would be to increase the amount of fuel storage contained inside it, and then also put in a load of repair tentacles. So there we go. That I'm going to just resave that. Mark II. And so this will be the design I'll actually be using in the campaign, since it will have more worthwhile, as it can repair, and because without the localized resources this doesn't really have a role. In a normal game, if you did have localized resources rather than the global, which I'm currently using in this Let's Play, it would be a lot more useful. Okay, so we're back in the campaign with the primary force here. So let's spawn in the entire Monklizard fleet. One problem with this force is that it doesn't seem to have much in the ways of anti-air. So I'm actually going to go to some of the used designs and add in probably the laser heavy fighter by Tostov. In fact, I'll add a couple of the... No, I'll add 2 of those in. Just so it should have some sort of anti-air capability there. Okay. So, all of that force there. Let's merge them into a single fleet. And also, I'll just take the Haloma out as well. So merge those all together. It's got all of Monklizard signs there, but also have the heavy laser fighter as well. Let's repair all of those. It will use basically almost all my resources, but that is okay, as that's what they're for. They're for making ridiculous forces. And I'll send the Benny Relay force in to attack the Copperheads and the King Cobras. In fact, no. Let's try and get the Monklizard force up and then use that. The heavy laser fighters there. Before I forget, I need to set up the resource groups as well. There you go. Almost all the resources have been spent building this combat force up, which is to be expected, as they were quite pricey to do. Now have an entire secondary combat force. A little bit more to be able to afford the Panther 4. It looks like I'm going to have to go into combat regardless. Oh, hang on. I've just gone to combat with them in the water. Oh well. One thing I can use with this water is building a fuel refinery. I'm sure I've got one somewhere. If not, I do have a prefab by which dastardly I can use. So there we go, that's a bit of a setup there. Got everything a little bit scattered around. And let us begin the battle. Quite a number of tanks have spawned in. Enemy tanks are on the water and probably about to begin sinking. Though, made out of wood, they're probably going to float quite well. Let's carry on. Just laser fighters going in. Just tearing through the targets already. This tank here is... it's floating. Not much to do against it. The laser fighters have taken out the Copperhead. And now cram cannons are coming down to bombard this little design. Which one is it? The King Cobra. Which looks like it may have been basically gutted already. Ooh, good solid hit there. The tanks have just tried to get in a little bit closer, but are not liking the water. I think I'm going to have to go in and finish things up. I'm too damaged. I was kind of worried that they might be a little bit too much underwater and the shells were just pinging off. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Big spread of missiles straight away there. But looks like as it spawned in, it got absolutely hammered by a load of rounds by the tanks. Don't think it's... is AI dead? Ah yeah, there it is. AI dead. Just couldn't quite make it out. Excellent. Nice simple victory. Let's move in and attack of this tile. Okay, so straight away into battle here. Got another attack force coming in as well. Oh yeah, we have King Cobra and a Sun Viper. I forgot to repair these guys. Benny Blade being right at the base there, but that's all okay. Actually, no, I want to see Archangelus tank. Hasn't been deployed for a little while. So let's send it in this time. And begin the battle. So, straight away, got the packing heat lining up for its shot on the side here. Let's see how it does with that first strike. And it misses completely. Second shot, though, hits straight in the side of the King Cobra. With large shells smashing through everything. That laser plane's doing dirty on everyone, everything. Big solid hit there. All that's really left is this little raider here, which looks like it may have already had its AI disabled. Oh no, it's still functional, but then it just got smacked by the packing heat. Excellent. That just leaves this little guy. Taking missile after missile. Archangelus tank there. It's doing a nice little bit of damage there as well. Right in the thick of it. So that leaves, I think, single copperhead. Oh no, it's a raider. Which just got hit by a load of missiles which were already in flight. And packing heat lobbed a couple of shells, and then demolition cannon is at the Benny Blade. Who popped the demo cannon? Ah, that's you got the cram. It seemed to do a lot more damage than I remember, which is good. Ooh, and everyone hates me. Right, so that's this tile now captured. Let's quickly engage this combat, because otherwise they're going to be fighting in the water. If I attack them now, see, I can position my forces out of the water like so, you see. Okay, so we have a tremor here. Now, in the testing, we did have face-off a tremor. It was a little bit of a tricky one. Looks like we're going to win, but it was going to be at great cost. This time now, though, I'm going to position things a little bit more sensibly, so they won't all get taken out immediately by that cram. Just load up in all the land, like so. Begin the battle, because I want to try and get in the thick of this one. Just jump off my vehicle of choice. Cram cannon flying overhead. And the tank's moving in for the kill. The little APC there. Should probably lower that spawn so it doesn't spawn in early. That's no, not really a problem. Here comes the tremor. Quite an interesting perspective seeing it spawn in like that and fire all its missiles from everyone. Oh, I accidentally I spawned in both. I spawned in my version and the Mark 1, which unfortunately doesn't really have a role. Apart from getting completely blattered by cram cannons, it seems. big solid cram hits there. Let's jump in. Quickly jump in before I get shot, and no. Oh, darn it, I got shot again. I want to capture things, I should really turn off the AI, but it's this dynamic trying to run in and dodge all your shots. That laser fighter's doing amazing work. Never really considered lasers to be much use in Ashes of the Empire, but obviously I wasn't using them right. Also, lasers on fighters I never thought was that good, but look at that bombardment. It's amazing. I really don't need to capture things anymore, but I want to try also view from this perspective, from ground level rather than eye in the sky. And smashed the wheels off, and I got shot. Yeah, very interesting perspective from ground level. It's just too much going to get shot all the time. So I have to keep the eye in the sky. Kaboom! Another big amount of resources there. So I'm not going to respawn, as I said, because you actually don't have a role in this particular campaign setup. Claiming tiles all over the place now, it seems. There we go. Can move up and start scanning everything now for me. Seeing what comes next. Let's go and attack this tile. It's 42 tile. So let's go take out this group here. A battle begins. And quickly pause. Really paid too much attention to how I was spawning everything. So let's carry on with the fight. First initial barrage comes in. That packing heat looks like it's going to be very close and just skims off to the side. Lots of initial missiles are fired, which is a bit worrisome. Looks like I can just tank there. Did okay, but then it fires its crown cannon and just completely blats that little raider. The laser fighter is taking a few hits, but its lambs are able to take down the worst of the missiles. And together with the other designs, the King Cobra is just completely gutted again. Seems to be a weakness at the fore there. Maybe there's too many explosive pellets. Just takes a hit and then just disappears. I believe the thing that's scrap works. Missile barrage goes through the side, and then the lasers just seem to pop both the turrets. It's a little bit far away, so missiles are running out of fuel. But it does manage to drive over some of them, so it is disabled. Because it's slowed down for that moment, other missiles then come and reach it. The APNs are also working to skim the missiles along the ground like some evil snakes. Devastating there. Sadly, is another little raider. Spawns in. And again, missiles already in flight distance for the other target. Divert and just completely wreck it to pieces. Completely devastating. All these little designs will now need to repair. So still a lot of territory I need to capture, but now have quite a bit of a consolidation in the centre here, which is important. So basically out of just one gypsies over here, so let's send them down to take out the rest of them, because we're ending up with a lot of the Steel Empire. We don't really have a defence force against at the moment, so that's a bit worrisome. Still, just waiting for Taipan to arrive. There we go, and let's engage this fight here. Just need to spawn all the land in for the battle. Yeah, man, spawn it in. Begin the battle, and pause. Increase the battle size to try and get them to spawn in, but no, it didn't do that. Let's push it up to 15k. No, I just outnumber them so much that they still only have one force in. Quite like this little design. There's a big cannon there. It's trying to shoot the planes, which is a mistake, so we'll not be able to hit them. Good solid hit there, and then the crowd cannon finishes it off. Just for good measure, an internal explosion at the base. Rips through. What? Heavy armor? Okay. Didn't realise any of the Swin Gypsies had heavy armor. Well, it matters. There's enough weaknesses around because it's got wood at the top, so the heavy armor is a bit pointless, to be perfectly honest. You end up disabling it by just destroying all the wooden components. And detonating everything explosive, because that is protected by paper, or wood. Metal at the base, but yeah, the core of heavy armour just seems a bit pointless. I suppose it does protect it against piercing pack and that, but an EMP, but still. I don't think heavy armour allowed that to survive any longer than normal. Resources still fairly low. Already got 39k. Do really need a lot more to be able to showcase all the designs I want to. Because some of the designs are very expensive, particularly Charadon sent me a lot of very awesome designs, but they are all pretty darn expensive. But that's because they are incredibly powerful. Right, what we got here? We've got King Cobra, Copperhead, Taipan, Over Copperhead, and Sidewinder. Let's go in for the kill. Basically everything can spawn in, which is kind of awesome. Let's just, yeah, put the battle size up to maximum. See what happens. I think either everything is going to spawn in or not much. Let's begin the battle. There we go, everything is spawned in. So I immediately got shot at by lasers. Oh yeah, and it's chugging a bit. Just because everything's suddenly colliding, spawning in, exploding. Yeah, there's just a lot of things going on already. Wow. And that's 2 damage. Everything's 2 damaged. I don't think they do any damage to me. Probably blew, one of my tanks probably blew themselves up. They normally do. But that was a rather quick fight. The Minun. Or Munin. Probably going to get rid of you, guy. Your direct attack is a bit lacking now compared to the rest of the forces. I'll keep you in this episode, but I think next episode, when I add more to this force, I will probably retire you as well. Benny Blade moving around here. Send the Monklizard force down south a bit. Yes, Monklizard Force, I would like to begin your battle. Again, let's just spawn in everything because we can. Spawn in all the land. Come on, spawn in the tiles. There we go. And let's begin the battle. Everything spawns in, absolutely everything. They have all their vehicles and all of my vehicles just there to surround them completely. Looks like some of them spawned in on top of each other, which is a bit of a problem for them. It looks like I accidentally spawned my planes in on top of each other and they crashed. Oh no! I spawned my tanks up in the air! Down they fall. Let's make sure everyone is ignoring salvage. I'm ignoring salvage as well. Good shots with that pack. From the 4 tank is probably one of my favourite out of this lot. Really nice aesthetic and a very nice little armament. I'm always a bit of a sucker for hover tanks. And you disintegrate as well. So, I'm on the brink of war with the lightning hoods. That's a bit worrisome. Let's repair everything there in this force. Oh, the heavy fighter was destroyed. No, it's probably because I spawned a tank inside it. Good number of vehicles. Again, resources aren't doing amazingly well. Definitely going up, but nothing incredibly amazing. Let's just take out this one here. Spawn in the land. Ooh, there's some big hilly land there. Make sure my vehicles do not spawn on that, otherwise they will just grind themselves to pieces. And begin the battle. Looks like there's quite a lot of enemy forces here. Let's begin and see how it all goes on. Got a couple of the war eggs there. Big barrage of packing heat just unfortunately goes a little bit far. All those cram shots just going to miss by a wide margin, I believe. Next load of cram. So well, the APS from packing heat does strike. And moving in, because I said I was thinking of getting rid of it, and just find an amazing barrage and ripped off the rear end of this vehicle. So obviously I'm going to be keeping that. And he just takes out the front engine of the rig there. And Tunguska wants to go in for a little bit of the kill. Benny Blade taking out this rig. Missiles skimming across the ground there as they run out of fuel. It launches all the components right up into the sky, where they are easy pickings for everyone. It's being sustained by repairs, even though it has been completely ripped apart. So very well done there. The other rig is already disintegrated. Ooh, the Tunguska then took a nasty, nasty strike. All that's left is this one. That's Sneer's missiles. Yep. EMP barrage there at the rear. Explosive missiles now no longer killing themselves. So it isn't getting hit at the rear, and it is also too damaged. So it disintegrates into a load of fragments there. Fantastic. Pull all. Send Monklizard force over to this tile. And I think might leave it there. Next episode we can take out this tower with some new vehicles, and Monklizard Force can carry on going around doing its thing. So, thank you very much for watching this episode of From the Depths, Ashes of the Empire Community Edition with myself and a Diffin. If you did enjoy the episode, please leave a like and or comment below, as it is always great to hear from you a lot. Otherwise, be sure to check out my channel for other videos in From the Depths and other games, and also my Discord channel as well for more direct chat. Otherwise, that's it for me for now, and I shall see you next time. But until then, I'm out. Goodbye!